Hey guys, my name is That White Kid, and in this video, I am going to talk about two privilege escalation techniques. First, using cron jobs, and second, using services. So let's get right into it. First, let's SSH into our vulnerable server. Vulnerable machine using user 4 credentials, and the IP is 192.168.1.114. I think this is correct. User 4 is the credential. Let's use bash. Clear out my screen. So if you want to check which cron job is running, you can simply do cat slash etc slash cron tab, which contains all the list of all the cron jobs that are running. So if you see, we can see, as you can see, there is a opt slash cleanup.py, which is owned by root, and it's running every minute. So there is a cron job that is running on by root every minute. So let's check this out. So navigate to op directory, cat out this cleanup.py. Okay, so we can read the file. So there is a one thing that I forgot to tell. We have to first check what are the permissions on this file. So as you can see that it is read write executable by everyone, like user, group, and owner, group, and all the users. So it has all the permissions set. We can modify it, and it is basically going to your folder and in the desktop and removing all the files and folders. So we can, if you want to confirm this, let's navigate to slash home slash user 4 slash desktop. Okay, so let's use date because it's running every minute. So let's simply create a file, hi, and text.txt of the file, make a directory test. So we have a file and a folder, and let's use date. We have a file and a folder, and when 48 becomes 49, 1 minute has passed, because the cron job is running one every minute. All these files should be removed. This cron job is owned by root, so it's running as root user. So if you do date again, the time has passed, and let's do ls-la. All the files are removed. Let's navigate back to op directory. Modify this cleanup.py. We can, because it has like all the permissions. So this is actually like if it's a cron job that is run by root, all the users shouldn't have permission to like modify it. So that is also the case in this. So we'll use nano. Instead of removing all the files, we can get it to set SUID bit for one of our binaries. So chmod u plus s, we are setting a SUID bit set for user find bin slash find. So find is basically, we use the find command to like locate all the files in the system. So we are setting the SUID bit set for this. So if you do save this, ls-la slash user bin find. Okay, so I think it just set, it was very fast. Okay, so yes, you can see that we didn't even get the time. I think it was around 55-56. So it suddenly set the SUID bit to find, SUID bit for find. We can do this again because this just, I didn't get the time to explain it as well. So ls-la on user bin find. No, date as well. So it's 5035. So let's navigate to our vulnerable machine. Let's remove the SUID bit from user bin find first. It's, we are logged in as root, so I'm just repeating the same process. So okay, it has set, date is okay, let it complete. Okay, now we have 1 minute, so let me remove the SUID bits first. Okay, so now you can see it's a normal like binary in our system which we use to locate files. It doesn't have any SUID bit set, but we have modified the what was the script name? I think it was cleanup.py, and we have modified it to give the find command SUID bit. So we have to just wait for that 1 minute to complete, so that cron job will run and modify the permissions on this find binary. Okay, so again do ls-la on find, and to escalate our privileges we can simply use gtfo bins. So if you navigate check for find. You can see that we can simply run this command and exploit this SUID. So let's do ls-la. Okay, so 1 minute has passed. We have SUID bit set for this find. Let's exploit this. So specify the full path, win slash find this command, enter. ID, our ID is same, but our effective user ID, that is EUID, is root. So we can navigate to root pwd. So as you can see, we have become root on the system, and this is one way of like modify like escalating your privileges on a Linux machine from a normal user to a root user. So let's move on to the second topic, which is escalating using services. So exit out of here, log in as user 5, the credential is user 5, bash. Now so let's first check if our user has any, I mean, has any sudo permissions. Like if there is any command he can run without the password of the root user. So if you run this sudo dash l, you will see that we can run bin slash systemctl command without requiring the password. So this is a command that we can run. So systemctl. So systemctl is basically a command which we can use to start, I mean stop or check the status of a service that is running. So let's list all the services that are running. So simply go to Google and you can run this command like systemctl type service and state active. So we are checking for any active service that is running. Scroll down, you will find this vul service server dot service. So there is a service that is running, vulnerable server. So this service is running. So use colon q to exit. So we see that there is a service running. So let's check out the processes running as well. Like what we will try to find out if this service is running anything. Check out all the processes and you will see that there is a python script, which is opt slash vulner server. So the now name is also like the same, it's the same. There is a python script that is running, owned by root. So let's check this out. Cat out vul server.py. So it's a simple HTTP server which has the host name as localhost and the server port is 8080, and if we make a get request, it responds with vulnerable service is running. So we can check this out using the curl command http. Let's make a get request to localhost port 8080 and we should get vulnerable services running. So it's a simple service that is simply HTTP server which is replying with vulnerable service is running when we make a get request. So okay, so let's check out the permissions on this file, op slash vulnerable service. Okay, so we can only read this, we cannot modify this. Only root user can modify this. So usually if you have custom services running on your system, it's located in slash etc slash system d slash system. If you do ls-la, you will find that there is a vuln server dot service. So this is the location of a custom service. So it has read write for owner and read write for group. Rest of the users cannot read this. We can check this out. I mean, we can confirm this. So let's use sudo. So let's, this wasn't necessary. We can simply SSH into, I think user, let's use with user 4. Okay, this is user 5, right? Yes, let's log in using user 4. Okay, 192.168. Okay, I think my system is a bit slow. .1.114 user 4. So if you do nano slash etc slash system d slash system slash vul server dot service, you're modifying it. You see, permission denied. So no user has permission to modify this. apart from root and user 5. So user 5 can also modify this. So let's modify this. So an easy way to do this is use a text editor and check out what this particular service is doing. So you can see that it's only starting that Python server. So this was the process that we saw earlier running. So this service is only running that script. So what we can do to escalate our privileges is, instead of starting this service, we can get it to, like, we have read write permissions, right? So we can modify it. We can modify it to run our reverse shell. How can we do that? Simply navigate to pentest, I think pentest monkey. Pick any reverse shell. I'm using bash. Exit out of here, clear the screen, nc-nvlp. We're using netcat and port is 444. So we're listening for a reverse shell, but before modifying it, we should stop this service. So we can run the systemctl command without the root password. Like, we can run as root without requiring its password. So let's stop the service. Okay, we have successfully stopped it. Now modify the service. So I think it's a bash script, right? So we have to specify bash, the command, modify the IP and port, which is 4444, and in this case my IP is 192.168.1.116. Okay, successfully modified. Let's reload the daemon as well. I think let's try without it. Maybe it will work. Okay, so does it work? Okay, so I think it will ask us to reload the daemon as well. So we can do that. Sudo. Okay, I forgot to copy the s. Okay, now start the service. Now we should get a reverse shell. Okay, still we haven't. What did I do wrong? Let me check. If config IP is correct, port is let's nano. Okay, it's a bash reverse shell. IP is correct, port is correct. It should. Let's stop the service. Okay, now reload the daemon. Now start the service. Now it should work. Okay, as you can see, we have got the shell as root. If you do id, you are root user. So that is how you can exploit a vulnerable service, because the service file had weak permissions. So you modified it to get that particular service to run your reverse shell instead of the intended task was to run that HTTP server. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.